What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling City. As always, I'm Taylor, and today I am making my official 2025 Survivor Series War Games predictions. Survivor Series War Games takes place this Saturday in San Diego, California, inside Petco Park, the home of the MLB's San Diego Padres. Now, according to WrestleTix, there are about 36,000 plus people expected to be in attendance at this show. And it is a stadium show, but there's only 4 matches. And I saw this get brought up on social media earlier today whether or not 4 matches for a show that is going to be taking place in a crowd this big is enough. Is 4 matches enough for a show with 36,000 plus people in it? And yeah, I would like to see them add maybe one more match. I think 5 matches is fine because if I'm not mistaken, we had 5 matches at Survivor Series War Games in 2024. But this year they're going with 4. And I get that there's two War Games matches, and each War Games match is probably going to take about 45 minutes to an hour long, maybe if that. I'm not sure like what the intervals are in between, like when participants can enter the ring and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I don't have that in front of me or anything, but I don't know. I think 5 matches is the sweet spot. I mean, you could do 7, but I just don't see them doing 7 on a card like this. When, like I said, you've got 2 War Games matches that's going to take up 2 hours of the show, and this show is probably going to run 3.5 hours, maybe, if that. So, and you know, I guess I'll say this: the build to this year's War Games Survivor Series has been it's been pretty lackluster, if I'm being completely honest. We've got these 2 War Games matches. Do either of these belong inside War Games? Uh, no, they really don't. I would probably say that the men's warrants a War Games match more than the women. I'll get into a little bit of that more in just a minute, but I don't know. I feel like creative is kind of taking advantage of the fans that have spent thousands probably on these tickets, and then they're putting little effort into this card. And I get that you've got all these top stars. You've got your Cody Rhodes, John Cena's, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Brock Lesnar. I know a lot of people don't. I know we don't like him a whole lot, but he's still a top guy in this company. But I mean, we're just gonna have to deal with it, I guess. And then you've got Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, AJ Lee, Becky Lynch. So I just feel like they just threw all these top stars on this card, and then they just told the fans, "Here you go. Here's your chance to see all these top stars." I just kind of wish we would get something a little bit more. Why are they here? Why are they competing inside War Games? We really didn't get the explanation on Monday, and it didn't help that we didn't find out the full War Games participants with just 2 weeks left to go. And for the women, we just found out last Friday. So, you know, they could have done a lot more with this. I would have liked if they had the War Games participants announced 3 weeks before, a month before. I think a month build, especially if you're going to do War Games every year, you've got to do something to make it more exciting each and every year, and you need it to be something fresh and new. But it's just like we've been getting the same thing where these teams they get just bunched together and then they send them out there. All right, Go out there and just brawl with each other. That'll get this. No, we need more. We need more, and that's been the thing with creative this year is that they just give us so little, and then they just expect us to eat it up. They expect us to spend our hard-earned money on mediocre, pretty much. So, but enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into these predictions. Let's kick things off with John Cena. He will be defending his Intercontinental Championship in his final premium live event of his career, and he is defending this title against Dom Mysterio. This is a rematch from the match that they had on Raw in Boston 2 weeks ago. And John Cena, he won that match. He took the title off Dom Mysterio. That is when he became a Grand Slam champion. He has finally become a Grand Slam champion. That match took place in Boston. That match took place in John Cena's backyard. He had the home crowd advantage on his side. Not this time. This time it is going to be in Dom Mysterio's backyard. He is going to have the hometown advantage. Or will he? This is kind of like say the Boston Red Sox are in the World Series and they're going against the San Diego Padres. You had game 1 in Boston with John Cena, his hometown. He got the win. Now this series shifts over to San Diego. John Cena is pretty. That's going to be the thing to me is what the crowd reaction is going to be for both these guys because it is in Dom Mysterio's hometown. Is he going to get cheered? And how much of this crowd is going to be pro Dom? You know, I mean, Dom, for the most part, outside of when he showed up in Boston and then when he showed up in Madison Square Garden the next week, he got booed. He got booed out of the building, and that's because he was in the ring with John Cena. And the crowd at this point is just not going to boo John Cena. But I am interested to see what the crowd reaction is going to be for this match. Is it going to be 50-50? Is it going to be 75 in Dom's favor? Is it going to be 75% in Cena's favor? Who knows? But I'm looking forward to that aspect of this match. But as for my prediction, I'm going with Dom Mysterio. I think Dom Mysterio is going to get back his Intercontinental Championship. And the only reason I say that is because John Cena's final match is coming up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks after this match this weekend, he will have his final match. And I just don't see him going into his final match with the Intercontinental Championship. And if his final match is going to be against Gunther, which a lot of us are predicting is going to be, I mean, I think that's the obvious choice when you look at the bracket that they've got out right now. Gunther is more than likely going to be his final opponent. And Gunther, if Cena has the title and he puts the title on the line, Gunther doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship anymore. And, I've said this before, so I'm not going to go too far into it again, but he doesn't need the Intercontinental Championship again. That title's beneath him. He needs to be in the main event scene, challenging for the world titles. He's already had the Intercontinental Championship for a record 666 days. So I just feel like, putting the title back on Gunther at this point would be a backwards move. So, I've got Dom Mysterio recapturing the Intercontinental Championship here. I don't think he does it alone. I think he's going to get some help. I think he's going to get some help from Liv Morgan. I really think we can see Liv Morgan make her return this weekend. I know a lot of people are expecting her to make her return at the Royal Rumble, but, why not just go ahead and get it out of the way now? Because I don't see Dom winning this match clean. I mean, he could cheat to win. And the way I see this is you have Liv Morgan come out and she helps Dom win, and then maybe after the match, Dom does something to where he, beats up John Cena some more, and then you can have another San Diego native hometown guy come out there and Rey Mysterio to help even the odds, go out there, get attack his son, and maybe that could set up a Dom and Ray feud for the either the Intercontinental Championship or the AAA Mega Championship. You have Dom come out there and make the save for Cena, just so that way you don't end that part of the show with, oh man, Cena lost. You kind of want to do something to make the fans happy. So that's what I think's going to happen. Dom will regain the Intercontinental Championship this weekend. All right, let's switch gears over to the women. Stephanie Vaquer is defending her women's World Heavyweight Championship against Nikki Bella. And oh my gosh, I think creative felt the same way us fans felt about this match, where they didn't care because they put zero to little effort into this build up. Pretty much all we got the Nikki heel turn, and then the week after that, she attacked Stephanie Vaquer from behind while Stephanie was about to go out there and talk to Jackie Redmond, I believe, in the ring, and she laid her out, told her that she's coming after the world title. And then just this past Monday on Raw, we didn't see Nikki Bella. We saw Stephanie Vaquer, but it was one of those pre-taped vignettes that they usually do. And I mean, does anybody really care for this match? I don't. But here's the funny thing. So, Monday night going into Tuesday morning, I had a dream. No, I legit had a dream. Like, I was sleeping and I had this dream. I don't know if I want to call it a dream. I think this would be a nightmare. So yeah, I had a nightmare. I swear I had a nightmare that Nikki Bella won this weekend. I know that a lot of these people say dreams come true, and I mean, in some cases, nightmares do come true as well. I'm hoping that's not the case here. I And then I saw somebody, I can't remember who it was. I've actually seen few people throw this out there where, because I think Nikki Bella is from San Diego, and that would mean that her sister is from San Diego. And there was a report that came out not too long ago where Brie Bella said that she would like to have one more run. I really hope they don't bring Brie Bella back here and they do that twin magic stick that they ran with in like the 2015s. I'm going to go with Stephanie Vaquer here. I'm just praying that they make the right call here and not put the title on Nikki Bella. But it kind of scares me, though, because she just turned heel. And you look at Jade Cargill, who she turned heel, and right after she turned heel, they gave her the title. I'm just hoping that they don't do the same thing here with Nikki Bella. Because like I've said before, Nikki Bella, she looks and she sounds out of place in this current era of women's wrestling. She just doesn't belong. So that's my take on it, and that's my prediction. I'm gonna go with Stephanie Vaquer. I'm gonna go with Stephanie Vaquer retaining the Women's World Championship, and I just hope after this weekend we can give her some better opponents, because this title reign isn't off to a great start. I don't know whose idea it was for them to throw Nikki Bella in there and thought that this would be the right place for her to start her title reign. It's not. It's really not. So I'm hoping that after this weekend we can finally start to pick things up in the Stephanie Vaquer world title run. All right. Let's keep it with the women here. Excuse me. The women's War Games match. The women's War Games match. Oh boy. All right. You've got Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, AJ Lee, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss. They are taking on the team of Becky Lynch, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend. Like I said earlier, they didn't do a really good job building the hype around these War Games matches. I think they've done a little bit better job of building up to the men's War Games match, even though that one hasn't been all that great. But we're getting a women's War Games match. If the men are getting one, the woman will have to get one too. I mean, this one is pretty obvious for me. I don't see how you have a team with AJ Lee on it. This is her first War Games match, and they lose. So I'm just gonna I'm going with the baby faces. I'm going with Team Rhea. Is that what they're calling it? Team Rhea, Team EO, Team AJ Lee. I'm going with that team. I don't know whose team it is, but that's the team I'm going with. And yeah, like I said, I just don't. I just it doesn't deserve to be inside of War Games. And then you've got Nia Jax in there. Last year they made the mistake of having Nia Jax go in there first, or I think she was like the third. So she was in that match for like 45 minutes. Can we please not make that same mistake twice? Please. No one wants to see Nia Jax in there for 45 minutes, especially if she's going to be in there slinging around weapons like chairs. We don't need to see that again. We don't need to see that again. All right, that just leaves one more match. Like I said, there's only 4 matches. The men's War Games match. You've got whose team is it? Is it CM Punk's team? Is it Cody Rhodes' team? Is it Roman Reigns' team? They were kind of going back and forth about that this week on Raw, and they're teaming with the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and they're taking on the team of Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. And it's crazy to me what this War Games match could have been. What it could have been. Because if Seth Rollins didn't get injured, then he was going to be in this match. We probably wouldn't have got Drew McIntyre, and then we probably wouldn't have got Cody Rhodes on the other side of the team. If Seth Rollins was still here, it would have Brock Lesnar would have probably been in there either way because he's got this alliance of some sorts with Paul Heyman still, where they're still going to work together, and that fifth man for their team was probably going to be Austin Theory. Those were the reports coming out. That was from Dave Meltzer. He's not always 100% right, but he has got a few things right here in the past few weeks. He did say that Lash Legend would be inside Women's War Games. She's inside Women's War Games. So, and then the other side, I think you still would have had Roman Reigns and CM Punk because they've been feuding with the Vision for all summer, pretty much ever since WrestleMania. You probably would have had. I think the Jey Uso would have still been in there. LA Knight probably could have been in there as well, and then you probably could have had John Cena in there, competing in his first ever and last ever Survivor Series War Games. So it's just crazy what this match could have been. And then you could have got a fifth match between when you could have added Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre again. That's what I thought was going to be the plan, but Rollins goes down with an injury, so they had to pivot, and this is what we got. We've got these 10 men, and I mentioned, whose team is this between CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns. I think that is going to play a factor inside War Games this week. I think I think all of their egos are going to get the best of them, and I think it's going to cost them the match. I really think. I mean, I think the heels. I think Team Vision are going to win this match. Now, who takes the pin? That's the question here, because I don't see them pinning Cody Rhodes. He's their WWE champion. He's the QB1. He's the face of the company. I don't see them pinning Cody Rhodes. I don't see them pinning Roman Reigns. Now he did just get pinned at what was it? Clash in Paris, I believe. Bronson Reed pinned him. No, that was Crown Jewel. He got pinned at Crown Jewel. I don't see them doing that again. So that just leaves you with CM Punk, Jey Uso, or Jimmy Uso. Now, what I want to see Braun Breaker pin CM Punk because I think we can do that, and then you can set up a feud for the title between Braun Breaker and CM Punk. And because also Roman Reigns, he did say on Raw this week, we don't know which title he was talking about, where he said that title would look real good around my shoulder. Now, if he's talking about the world title, what I would do is have Breaker take the world title off of CM Punk, whether it's, I guess it's Royal Rumble, and then you can do Braun Breaker versus Roman Reigns for the world title at WrestleMania. That frees up CM Punk. CM Punk can go win the Elimination Chamber, and then we can get CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania next year. But I don't know. I feel like they're going to just play it safe and then have one of the Usos take the pin. I kind of feel like that's why. I kind of feel like that's why Jimmy Uso's in this match to be the one to take the pin. I just don't see a team with Brock Lesnar on it taking a loss here. I just don't. And then, and hell, you could have the heels win, and Drew McIntyre can use this as I mean, he probably won't pin Cody Rhodes inside this match, but he could use that against him to where, hey, I want another shot at the WWE title. And then they can have their third match if that's the direction they go. So we'll see. But I mean, that's it. Those are my predictions for Survivor Series War Games 2025. Let me know in the comments down below what your predictions are for this weekend's event. I will be going live this weekend for a Survivor Series watch along, so you guys can join me there if you want to. And I will obviously have a Survivor Series review up as well following the show. And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come help us make Wrestling City the greatest city in the world for all your wrestling content. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. We're only about 19 away. I know this is a short, I know this is, but we're on short time here. Thanksgiving is tomorrow, but I would love to reach 500 subscribers by Thanksgiving. Is there any way we can make that happen? I would love to hit that by Thanksgiving, so when we get to Thanksgiving, I can be thankful for 500 subscribers. And I promise you, you will enjoy your stay here in Wrestling City. I can promise you that. But that's about it. I will see you guys this weekend. Oh, I will see you for SmackDown this Friday. And then I'll see you for Survivor Series War Games. Until then, happy Thanksgiving and take care. God bless. Peace.